It was back in about 6 years ago. Me and my brother Christian, we got cameras and we decided to get good at them. We got small clients. We started with a small wedding. Actually, it was an engagement shoot, and then we did the wedding for them. It was fun, and then from there on, we said, you know what? I think we can actually do this. I think we can actually start a small little company doing photo and video. And from there on, we took off, and now we are 6 years into making films, short films, and commercial films for different vendors and customers. If you are in college at the moment right now, take it as an advantage. Make friends that you think you can actually work with. Make relationships with your peers and your teachers. Your teachers are already on the field. They already know people. Make friends. But if you make friends, it's not like to get stuff out of them. You know, it's not like trying to gain something. Yeah, you do gain something by experiencing like some type of event or activity with them. But it's not out of the get-go trying to exploit them for what they have for the resources. Make an actual relationship, like get to know the person. That's what is something is very important. Relationships are a lot of value. Those relationships are the ones that get you the better job out there. That's what I would say to you. I would say to you, learn something. It's okay to fail. Learn something new. Pick up a camera. Pick up a Wacom tablet. Pick up anything that you're interested in to actually pursue something that you love. When you love something, you don't work a day in your life. Okay, well, in our company, if we're using any type of software, we actually start, allocating what type of service that we're going to be providing for. Like if it's for pictures, we use Photoshop and Lightroom. There's Camera Raw, and there's other programs that we actually, but normally the set ones that we use is Photoshop and Lightroom. For video work, we use either After Effects, Final Cut Pro, or Premiere. When we started, actually, since everything was on a budget, you look for the easiest way to do things. So we started with either GIMP or smaller stuff like Aperture, like we mentioned before. Actually, we used iTunes for a little bit until we had enough money to actually invest in something that was great. So then we started with Final Cut Pro, and also we used Avid Media. Avid was a little bit complicated, so that's why we made the switch to Final Cut Pro. And then as we kept getting more customers and making more contacts, so then we started moving towards Premiere. And in Premiere, what I liked about it is everything is integrated as well. Final Cut Pro though had a great thing about proxies. So if you didn't have a fast system and you were on a budget, you can create a proxy, and then from there you could edit better and a lot faster. Now with the new updates, that's why I also like Premiere, because the updates are already included in the monthly fee that you pay. Now you can create proxies, especially if you're recording in 4K, 6K, or 8K. It makes it a lot easier. As far as the Photoshop goes, we always use Photoshop from the get-go. We also took advantage a lot of our student memberships. So that way, even if it was student version, you can still use it for something, and get something out of it. If you're coming straight out of college, I don't expect you to know everything, okay? But at least know somewhat of little things, like especially like something that you really enjoy, and be good at it. The main thing out there is being good with people skills, okay? That's what I actually look forward to, because if you went to college, you're supposed to be a well-rounded person that can deal with a lot of problems and troubleshoot and know how to overcome things. And I don't need to be watching over you. I expect you to actually be very well trained and actually do things on your own. If you have questions, of course, come to your next supervisor or boss, to make sure you do everything, but also work well with others. That's the main important thing here, teamwork. somebody that can communicate, collaborate, somebody, even if you don't know everything, okay? But if you're willing to go the extra mile and be a team player, that is a lot, especially out there. Because when you start with a crew, it's like family. Yeah, we're gonna have problems. Family has problems. But if you work together, it's as simple as pie. I use anybody that's eager to work, okay, or is eager to actually be in the industry. At the moment, I do take freelancers, I do take interns. If you want to just get dirty and learn, heck yeah, just give me a call and we'll work together and I'll put you to do something. Well, depending on the experience of the intern, I will be either putting them straight on the field or doing more of assistant work so they can actually learn a little bit more. But definitely, it all depends on the experience of that they have already. At Don Owl Studios, we have fun. You know, sometimes it might get a little bit greedy, you know, and we're doing the grind and we're working hard. Maybe we're not having fun then, but right after we finish, we go celebrate, we have a good time, we laugh. Definitely in any of the other shoot, we do have a good time. It's just depending on the complexity of the project and how much we can actually have room to actually breathe. Sometimes, you know, we have a project that's due maybe in a week. Typical day could be me receiving a phone call, going out to meet the client the same day. You know, if a client calls you, don't take it and just, you know, make them wait. No, they're calling you because they're looking for something. They already called some other people and they finally call you. Okay, so take care of them. If you're in school, I'll give you an example. If you're in school right now, tell them your schedule. Tell them, say, hey, okay, I'll talk to them really quick, and then after that, schedule a meeting right after you get out of school. You know, depending on how the day is, but then just be proactive. Just call them back. That's what I would do. Then after that, usually in my day, you know, after I meet my clients, I talk to them. I make the sale, and then we start next on the production part. You know, the post production. What location are we going to use? What actors are we going to use? You know, when are we going to meet the storyboard? When should we meet again with the client? And keep them updated at all times. That's part of my job and Chris's job at all times. You know, we always have to keep up, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Everything relies on you. If you start making more money, then you can hire more people to do your work. But usually that's the way we do it. Then right after we finish, you know, talking with the client and we make the sale and we do the post-production, then we go to the next thing. We schedule a shoot date and then we go out there and then we shoot. It could be a same day shoot. It actually can be a shoot in a couple of months, but you also got to schedule it. And that's what we also do. We look at our calendars so we don't drown ourselves and then overlap some type of project, which has happened to me before. And then you're like going crazy. Oh my goodness, we gotta finish this, you know. But other than that, that's the typical day. It's random sometimes. Maybe you got a call, maybe you don't. But you know, the point is to be out there. And you know, part of my day is like during the week, I take one day out of the week to actually go do some type of social networking and meet new people out in the field. So that way I can get more leads and get more jobs. Depending on the portfolio I'm looking at, if this is for a photographer, I am going to be looking for, if you know your depth of field, your composure, framing, as well as your centering, your rules of third basically. I'm looking for that photo that I see that you know what you're doing. And if you're starting out, it's okay, but at least one of those elements has got to be in there. Definitely there is a wow factor, but you know, I can also look at it and say, wow, this person also has creativity. If it's in film, I expect you to know either your ratios, your 16:9, your 4:3, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing any type of time lapse, you know, or you're filming in 23.98 frames per second, or 24 frames per second, or 30, depending on the video you're doing, I expect it to have some type of congruity with the aspect ratio you chose and the frames per second that you chose. Like if it's commercial work, you know, it's 30 frames per second. If it's a cinematic short film or it's a trailer or something, then it's 24 frames, depending on what you're doing. Actually know how to, you can actually tell if it's film how you exported it into either the web or anything, so I'm mostly looking at that as well. As well as for digital media stuff, I look for creativity, something out of the norm, and simplicity as well. I love simplicity, something simple, you know. The simpler it is, the better it looks, especially in that. Presentation, I love presentation when it comes to portfolios, depending if it's going back to photography. If you're sending it to me via PDF, then that's okay. It's more like impersonal, so I don't expect much. But if you're actually with me one-on-one and you bring your portfolio in this nice hardcover looking thing, you know, I'm like, whoa, this guy actually, or this girl actually really enjoys what they're doing, and there's some type of professionalism there. When it comes to video, you know how to use your audio. That right there for me is key. If everything may look great, all the colors are good, everything looks amazing, but the audio has some type of echo, is really kind of glitchy or something, nah, that doesn't work for me. Audio for me is number one, especially same with music. And I really enjoy it if your portfolio shows some type of story, either on your pictures or your logos or something, you know. Be able to explain what you did there as well, especially if we're doing a one-on-one or we're doing a Skype chat. That means a lot, you know, especially if you can tell me what's the backstory for it and why it happened like this, and why you decided to do it this way, and what adversity you actually faced, okay, to make you overcome and actually make this really awesome masterpiece. All right, so fake it until you make it. Be profound, be bold, always be bold, but you know, be humble as well. Heck yes, yeah, it's front and center for me and my brother Christian. We actually do first either a Skype or Google Hangout, some type of like video conferencing. If you can't make it there, I'll definitely put you in a place that you don't feel comfortable, just to see how you act. I'm big into behavior, how the person reacts to different things, what ticks them off. Because you know, when you're out in the field and nothing is working, you need to have somebody reliable, and it's not somebody that can break, you know. Definitely that's what we do, and we enjoy doing it because, you know, we want to see what you're capable of, you know, and what can you actually become, because I don't expect for you to work for me forever, you know, but I do enjoy learning to know somebody new and what can they offer to the company and how can they promote their own self-growth as well. If you're going to be here in Florida, Florida is a little hard when it comes to many associations, but definitely if you're going to join something, start with photography. You know, photography is part of everything. It's what we see, it's what we market, it's how we perceive things that actually is going to make us buy something or not, you know. It's marketing. It's, at the end of it, it's something visual. So I was taken into photography, and there's actually a couple clubs here. There's the Professional Photographers of South Florida, which is here, and they meet every second Tuesday of the month, and they actually meet at Orange Studio. There's also the Orlando Meet and Greet, that's actually run by one of my good friends, Jesse Walker. They also have a Thursday night critique class for any type of digital media or digital painting or anything like that. They have it over at the Artagon in every Thursday night. I think it's from 7:30 to 9:30. But it's a great little place to actually get to know people. There's other film guilds here that you can look up in the Metro Orlando Film Commission. You can look them up, call them up, and they actually can give you more information on the guilds. I would say also join the film festivals. You know, like the NCN here is very popular. From the NCN you go to the Brouhaha, and then from the Brouhaha you go to the Orlando Film Festival, and then the Florida Film Festival. The Film Commission of Florida is also a great place to start. They give you a lot of information. That's all mixed in there. You know, you have a bunch of people that actually do some type of digital media with Photoshop, Illustrator, or any other Adobe products. So the digital media field is very so diverse that you can dive into anything really. The more versatile you are, the better you are out there, because you can get the job without even knowing that you actually you didn't think you qualified, but you actually had some type of requirements or expertise or skills and some type of level that actually makes you land the job. And when you join these little guilds and everything, don't think about wasting your time. Not really. You're only wasting your time if you don't speak up. If you don't actually make friends. That's the main point, is making friends. Well, if we're gonna start with that, I just recommend reading. Really. You read for college books, you read for knowledge. I myself am an avid reader. I try to read a book every month. Okay? Knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you're off. It's cool. I love education. It depends on who you are and if it's for you. If you're a self-starter, then great. If you're not and you need your hand hold it, then go to school. That's fine. Okay? But look at it this way. Anything that you do, you can still learn by yourself. Most of the stuff that you actually do, you're self-taught out there in the field. Sooner or later, even in the education that you actually did receive, you still got to keep learning. You can't stop, because everything changes every year. There's something new. Every 3 months there's something new. You got to get used to it. Everything is ever evolving. .3D and virtual reality will become more of a norm than your regular thing. There's a new camera out there that it helps you do VFX on the fly. It just basically does everything for you in one shot. All right. So instead of you doing the green screen and everything, it will actually do basically it's a high dynamic range of 10 times the depth of field. So it recognizes everything in the whole room, where you actually can just amplify it, minimize it, make it bigger, make it smaller, and you don't lose any type of high definition quality. So it's going far. I just hope that we don't lose the essence of creativity and not everything just goes straight up to like digital. Florida is oversaturated, and it's really, really, really heavy to look for a job. Okay, there's small companies like me that I hire freelancers. I know it's a tough word to listen to hear, or it's kind of the reality is kind of tough, but sometimes some people get lucky. You know how they say you know somebody and that person will help you find the job that you need. Sometimes it's like that, but sometimes you just gotta work a little bit extra hard. Okay, depending on the cards that you're dealt. Me and Christian started as freelancers. Okay, and that led us to start our own company. Okay, and actually work with different clients that we have. We worked with Nabisco. We worked with Volvita. We have worked with Davida Dialysis. We have worked with the Florida Conference for the Seventh Day Adventists. We have worked with Journey Church. We have so many clients. Okay, that you can have work. The point in here is to go out there and let people get to know you. Clients come and go. Clients are a special breed, Sometimes you get clients that underappreciate your work. They do not understand what type of work do you do. For them, it's just you pick up a pencil and then make everything look pretty. So they think it's easy, but not really. Not in reality. Especially when it comes to film photography or any type of like digital media design. Things like that are an art, and people do not know the value of art. And why do I reiterate everything and give it a little circle? Because I'm trying to make a point. The point here is that you need to show value of what you do. If you're encountering that type of client, you might have to definitely explain what you do and what is your process that makes your art or your work special and one of a kind. Okay, there's no original out there, but there's genuine. Genuine is very big. Okay, because you have to do your homework on who they are. and what they're looking for. So see, that all requires time, and time is valuable. Time is something that you have and everybody has. But when it comes down to work, time is what makes you that money. And you gotta show them how much your time is valuable to you. Okay? So that's, in my case, the best advice I can give you when it comes to clients. Okay, so when we're gonna do a film project, we normally either or the client will find us through either Google, Facebook, or maybe a referral. From there on, we make the contact either via email or by phone, depending on the method that the client used. If it's an urgent client, then we just call them up and hopefully we can get them on the other line and start doing a phone interview on what they're looking for. Right after that, we schedule a meeting, okay? And if there's any NDAs or anything that we need to sign, we sign, and we go ahead from there and figure out what we're gonna do. Right after we have agreed upon what we're gonna do with the client, we start a storyboard or a shot list or anything that can put us our visuals in there. So usually we go by the 4 P's. We go by production, purpose, place, and the people, okay? Those are our main things. Why do I say this? We need to know what's the purpose of the video. That's why we create the storyboard. But within the storyboard, we create words that associate with that project that we're gonna do. What is their end deal? What they're trying to explain. We come up with these different methods so that way we can actually develop a story. We need the beginning, the middle, and the end to bring it up. Especially when you're going to do a narrator film or a type of commercial film for a client. Especially Kickstarter videos. We do a lot of those. Normally we got to show what problem are they solving. That's the main thing, and how will it better the community. And that's basically the story right there. But it also needs to be catered to that client. Right after that, after we have also find our location that we're going to shoot, find our actors that we're going to pay, got the catering ready for them as well. If we can't pay them, especially depending on the budget that the client has, then we do our best to actually accommodate the person that's working with us. As far as that, then comes into the production day. We prepare for the worst because you never know what's going to be going on. If it's a shoot outside and it's going to be raining, and do we have the permit correctly, things like that. If it's in-house, do we have the studio ready, making sure that we have all our equipment, all our batteries are charged, everything is really good and ready to go. Okay, then right after that, then we bring it into post. We start editing, getting it ready, doing the final tweaks. Then we meet with the client one more time so they can look at the project, and we can give them a rough draft so they can see how it looks like, and we're happy with it. We make some final adjustments, and finally we deliver. And then after that, then usually what we do, depending on the client, we either do first half of the deposit up front, and then the other half once the project is done, or the client feels like they want to pay for the whole thing, then they do it. We offer different type of payments, so that way we can land the job, and it's easier to actually get more gigs. That's the point. You get more jobs, and then after that, then our videos go into an archive or for a portfolio, so we can show other clients and get more leads. The point is that you get this client, they become your friend, and you get more jobs out of them. I see Donna Owl Studios evolving into more of a education hub, at least bigger. I want to see right now we're about 4 people in our company. I want to have a crew at least of 20, 25, even though it's still small, but we're doing bigger jobs. That's what I hope for, so I can hire more people and do more stuff.